Hello and welcome to another Meet the Coach. I'm Dr. Steve Jeffs, and today I'm here with Sonia Grant. Sonia, welcome.
Thank you. It's great to be here. Nice to meet you.
It's good to be here as well. So I'm excited to connect with you as a coach. Just by way of context, where are you on the planet at the moment?
I'm in Ontario, in Canada, just north of Toronto.
Fantastic. And what do you love about coaching?
Well, I started getting into nutrition when I was a teenager. I started to become aware of what I was eating more, and I started by cutting out the sugar in my tea. Living in England back then, Brits are big tea drinkers. So I used to drink a lot of tea with sugar in. So I cut out the sugar. And then over time, I started reading about nutrition, watching videos, just becoming more knowledgeable in that area. And I thought, why keep that information to myself? Why not share that with others? So I did a course. I became a certified health and wellness coach. And it's just my real passion. And I feel I finally found my niche in life that I absolutely enjoy and I love it so much. And, I focus on a whole food, plant-based approach with clients.
Whole food, plant-based approach with clients. And who are your favorite clients to work with?
So I work with adults aged 50 plus who want to gain more energy or improve their digestive health and improve their mood and just have better vitality in life. I'm 60 myself, so I feel I can relate to people in that age group as, I've experienced some of the things that people are going through now as an older adult.
And what is it about food that most people don't understand or don't realize that if they did, might change things for them?
Yeah, people, I think they don't realize exactly what is in the food they're buying. There are so many options now. You go into the superstore and you're bombarded by all this colorful, things on the shelves, which are positioned right as you walk in or right by the till. Like packets of cereal, for example, whereas all these wonderful, lovely colors on the front, and they include fruits or vegetables. But when you look at the back, the ingredients are just so bad, and there's so many things in them. And I don't think people quite realize how bad they are for them. Um, and also a lot of people these days, they're so busy in their lives and they just buy packaged food, packaged meals a lot for the time. They just don't have time to cook from scratch. So they end up, eating out or just buying a packaged meal they can heat up in the microwave, not really realizing quite how bad it is for them, how harmful it is for their health.
Yeah, absolutely. That can be so easy in that busy life, and those packaged meals can look quite good. It's easy, it's different than like 2 minute noodles. It looks like it's got some stuff. I'm curious, and I may be diving too deep, so forgive me here, but how long, if people were to start making some conscious decisions around food, sort of how long might it take to be able to either see or feel the impact of those positive decisions?
I really don't think it would take too long. I mean, you could just take baby steps. So one step at a time, really, even if it's just one little change a week. It doesn't, small changes add up. Don't do everything, don't aim to change everything overnight. It just becomes very overwhelming then. And I think it makes harder for people to stick with. But, just stick with basic ingredients, basic home cooked meals, vegetables really good. If you could have half your plate full of vegetables, green leafy vegetables, they have so many nutrients in. The other quarter of your plate could be a whole grain like quinoa or buckwheat or millet, something like that. Um, And then you could have the other quarter could be something like tofu or tempeh, which is like a meat equivalent, and it does contain a lot of protein. So that's a really good meal there, lots of nutrients in it. And something for breakfast, it could be really easy, like oatmeal. And if you add lots of some berries to it and some nuts and seeds, it's a fully nutritious meal right there. And it will keep you satisfied for hours. You know, you won't feel hungry again in an hour, and it will keep you going. And nuts and seeds, particularly, have a lot of nutrition in them. Also, protein, different nutrients for you that will keep you
Love
satisfied
that.
for longer.
Yeah, I love that. Starting with one thing a week or one idea sort of crossed my mind as well. What's the easiest meal to start to do things differently? As you said, to not change everything all at once, but when do we
Yes.
start to have that most
Yeah.
success, and what are the habits that we want to be tracking around that as well?
Yeah.
That's great.
I mean, to make it really easy, instead of maybe having an apple pie for dessert after your dinner, you could have a piece of fruit. You don't even have to make that. It can be there, a piece of fruit. It gives you that sweetness, but it's not the type, it's not the same sugar that's in candy or, maple syrup. It's a much healthier version of sugar. So yeah, just have a piece of fruit. I mean, that definitely can't, nothing could be easier than that. You don't even have to make it.
I
But
love that phrase. It's so true. You don't even
yeah,
have to make it. You don't even have to microwave it. Like you can pick it
no,
up and
just
and it's
eat it.
ready.
It's there. It's, yeah, ready made for you, ready made. And you can have that as a snack if you get hungry between meals.
Of
It's
course.
just there.
Great. How is sort of health and nutrition coaching different than from, say, a nutritionist or other food and health related professions?
Well, I think a nutritionist and dietitian, their roles would be more to do a meal plan, actual meal plan for you, maybe related to some medical condition you may have. They would devise your actual meals for you. Whereas a health and wellness coach, mine is more a general overview of foods that would be good for you, not rather as a set meal that you should have this, this, and that. You know, we can go through different food items that would be good, and you could mix and match them, prepare in bulk, maybe choose a day of the week, prepare lots of different items, salads, maybe cook some quinoa, brown rice, um, different veggies. Stir fry is a really easy one to make. It's one of my favorite meals. I saute in water so I don't have the fat from the oil. And you can just do different vegetables and just batch them, put them in a container, different containers, as long as they're freezer proof or fridge proof container. And there's your week's worth of meals. So when you're busy, you're out at work, you come home and you just get it out the freezer, heat it up, and there's a good nutritious meal that you can have without having to worry about cooking time or what to eat. You've got it there and then.
Right.
I also,
So two
mm,
Yeah, two things that stand out for me in that are central to coaching. One is awareness and paying attention, noticing the habits, noticing the emotions, the urges, and sort of having that emotional awareness around things. The other thing that was very clear what you were saying was around behavior change, and having the support to be able to not just to know what's good. I mean, a lot of us know what's good when it comes to healthy eating, and many of us aren't doing what it is that we know. And so being able to help build those success habits and maintain, those healthy decisions as we go forward. That's
yeah,
fantastic. I wanted to
I
add
think a
something.
lot
Go
of
ahead.
yeah, a lot of people I think they fear failing, so they don't even start. They just feel that they're going to give up. So they don't even start. So even though they want to start and know they should, and maybe they've tried things before in the past that hasn't worked. So that kind of puts them off trying again. But that's where, if you have an accountability partner as well, that can really help you, I find. a lot of people, if they have a close one or a friend, and they can talk to them, and that's you have that someone who can hold you accountable, you're more likely to keep going as well.
Definitely. All good coaching constructs. And, as we help our clients, I love this focus. So, one of the things we love to ask on Meet the Coach is do you have a favorite book or books around coaching, either for you or that you love to recommend to others?
Yes. There are three books that I like. The first one is called Atomic Habits by James Clear, because it focuses on small, consistent changes. And that's how I approach coaching, just taking a step at a time, not giving clients too much to do. I give them work to do each week, but it may be just one step, like adding one new vegetable to their dinner. Just something as easy as that, until it becomes a habit. They don't even think about, they won't even, subconscious even, they just include it without thinking. And then the next week, it could be another small step, like go for a walk after your meal. It could be just 5 minute walk, just something very basic. And then you build up from there. My second book I really like, this is my favorite one. It's called Eat to Live by Dr. Joel Furman. And that's more on the whole food, plant-based side. So Dr. Furman's in the US, and he founded the Nutritarian diet,
Mhm.
which is completely whole food, plant-based, no sugar, no meat, no dairy, no oil. So I really love that book. That's a very interesting read. And then the last one is Coaching Habit by Michael Stanier. And that book focuses on asking simple, effective questions. And I really like that, because I find, it's not about telling clients what they should or shouldn't be doing. It's guiding them to find their own solution. Because, if they come up with something themselves, they're much more likely to stick at it, rather than you just telling them what they should or shouldn't do. And, our job is just to guide them into finding that area that they think would work for them.
Love it. The power of a question to invite someone to look in a direction they may not have looked before, and to give them permission to actually see what might be there.
Exactly. It's a bit of trial and error. Sometimes it may not work the first time, but there's always other areas you can try. There's always other ways of looking at things that work. Because it's not just a one step fits all
Mhm.
pattern. Different
Absolutely.
things work for different people.
And at different times. I guess that's really important. It's a journey. And I think that's where the power of a coach comes in, to be able to have that experimentation partner, to be able to keep paying attention, to be keep noticing, and to keep remembering to look in those areas, so that we can keep doing what makes the difference that's important to us. What about tools? What are the favorite tools that you love to bring into coaching with your clients?
Well, I do use the whole food plant-based approach
Mhm.
with my coaching, and I've actually created my own framework to go through with
Mhm.
clients, and it's called the energy method. So the E is for eat real foods. So we would start off, when I first meet a client, we'd go through their history, what they've tried, what's worked before, what hasn't worked, their
Mhm.
goals. And then we would look at what they're eating, and talk about, whole nutrient dense foods that could help fuel their body. And then the N is for nurtured digestive health, because digestion is also a part of it. And if someone's looking for more energy, digestion, if your digestion is off, then your energy is likely to be off too. So we look at
Mhm.
improving digestion, and it could be something simple like, when you're eating a meal, just to chew it really, really well until it liquefies in your mouth. And that way, more nutrients come out of the food and they are more easily absorbed by your body, the better you
Right.
chew them. Yeah. And then E is for establishing steady energy. So we look at meals and habits that prevent energy crashes. A lot of people, older people, have midday slumps or, mid-afternoon crash where they just want to have that nap. And it's looking at maybe what they could eat or do when they get up and throughout the day that will help them to avoid being tired so they can have that energy to keep going through the day and do what they want to do. And then R is for restore healthy routines. So it is important to, become consistent with your meals, have regular meals, get into, we get into sleep, talk about sleep, hydration, which is also very important. Exercise, movement doesn't have to be a lot. So we look at that. And then the G is for grow sustainable habits. So we'd be looking at just simple daily habits that they can take to create lasting results. And then the why, after doing all that, is your vitality returns when they should see their, an increase in their energy, their mood, and just feel much better in their bodies overall.
I love that. So
Yeah,
it's
so that's my
great
framework
reminder.
I go through. Yeah.
That's fantastic. And with Atomic Habits, you said, being able to track habits, identify key steps, um, and recovering feels like an important component of all of this. As you said, a lot of us fear failure. Well, if we're on this journey, we got to find out what works, we got to find out what doesn't, and then keep coming back to that path. So being able to track all of that becomes really useful. And of course, Coaching Tools has a number of different Coaching Tools company has a number of different tools that can support in that as well. But I love it. Fantastic. Well, this has been really interesting. Um, if there was one thing that you wanted people to know, whether we're coaches or clients, about the work that you do and what excites you most about your niche as you described it, what would that be? What do you want people to know?
I think, for me, when I work with clients and we go through the little things and steps that they can take that, they hadn't even thought of before, with what they're eating, their sleep, we go through their sleep routine, establish a good, routine for that, like eating earlier in the evening and getting to bed and getting up at the same time. We talk about hydration and movement, and then they see things change. Just even if it's just one change, and that just makes me so excited, and it's just so motivating for me. And you know, I think yes, this is working. I just love it, and I just to feel their energy when they feel their energy returning. And some of them, they start to reduce their medications they're on as well. And that's the best thing ever. When you see someone make those changes that you've helped them get to, even though, you've helped them come up with solutions that will work for them. And, just to see that taking place is the most amazing thing. And I love it. And I can see myself doing this forevermore. I started this late in life, but I said, better late than never. And I will definitely be doing this for as long as I possibly can. It's just very
Fantastic.
fulfilling for me. It's very rewarding for me to work with people and just see how little changes can really improve their lives, and they can go out with their grandchildren and go out for the day or have their grandchildren over and be able to, run around with them and keep going until the evening. It's just, it's just wonderful. It's
I
amazing
love
to
it.
see.
One thing stands out there is, we talk about medicine and medications, and we forget that, what we eat counts as that as well. What goes in influences our system, it influences our energy, and it's either doing something positive, that's giving us the energy and the vitality. I love that word. Or it's not. And paying attention to what we're putting in changes what we have to be able to give out to the world. And I think it's a great reminder for all of us to be able to be conscious, to be aware, and to pay attention to those things that matter, and of course to partner with accountability partners or coaches to help us see those things that either we can't quite see or we pretend that we can't See, but Sonia, this has been fantastic. Thank you so much for creating some space and helping us see coaching through your eyes. We really appreciate it. And everyone else, keep following, and we look forward to seeing you on the next Meet the Coach.